She has form with regal roles. Cleopatra, Mad King George's wife Charlotte, and Queen Elizabeth I and II. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Helen Mirren's CV. Her career on stage and on screen has resulted in an Oscar, BAFTAs, and 2 prizes here at Cannes, not to mention the acclaim and admiration of film critics and fans. Now we're off to meet her. Helen Mirren, hello, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
We're here at the 74th Cannes Film Festival. Proceedings are underway. You're an ambassador for L'Oréal, the official brand for beauty for the festival. And after such a strange year, a cultural hiatus, what is it like to return to cinema?
There was, you know, maybe not a dry eye in the house sort of feeling, that real feeling of, oh, life, it can carry on. It can carry on. Because there was a time there, wasn't there, when you really felt that things had changed forever. And there's nothing wrong with that, incidentally. And I think resetting is sometimes not a bad idea. Sometimes festivals, but many other things, they just get overinflated and too much, and it just constantly gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it sort of, you know, explodes. So to reset is not such a bad thing. And Cannes this year is, in my experience, is sort of quieter than normal. But just the fact that it's back, that the appreciation of film, the fact that cinemas and film have, and all forms of entertainment where people gather together have been so curtailed.
Now, L'Oréal is celebrating the 50th anniversary of that famous slogan, "Because I'm worth it." And notions of self-worth and beauty have evolved enormously over the years. So how would you define beauty today?
I don't define beauty. I don't like the word beauty. I think it's a wrong word to use. Unfortunately, it's become the beauty industry, and it's just the wrong word, because the majority of us are not beautiful. You know, there are beautiful people who walk on this planet, and we can all see them and appreciate them. But the majority of us are not beautiful like that. But we can put on style, we can put on swagger, we can put on confidence, we can put on wit and charm and lots of other things that are just as attractive as sheer beauty, you know. So I think in a way that word, the beauty industry, it alienates people. It did for me for many years, I have to say. You know, I was annoyed that I was given images of 16-year-old girls when I was 35, and if I used this cream, I would look 16, you know, with absolutely no mark of any living on this face whatsoever, and that, you know, annoyed me. And luckily we've gone way beyond that.
Serious questions about the prominence of women in the film industry are being asked right now, and Cannes has tried to make efforts towards more gender equality. In 2018, we had that historic red carpet premiere featuring only women, but this year only 4 female directors are in competition with their films. How is the Lights on Women initiative trying to redress that balance?
Well, you know, it's all about opportunity, isn't it? And recognition of work that's done. And here, with this award, L'Oréal is affording young female directors both opportunity and recognition. And that's all important, especially for the young. And then it will reverberate on for the next 10, 15 years, and we'll probably see a sea change. We have already, and actually when you say there are only 4 women, which is not a big number, but 10 years ago there probably would not have been 1. So already, you know, the water is trickling over the dam, and, you know, it will become a deluge. And I'm sure we'll come to a point where the female directors say, you know what, don't call us female directors, we are directors. And I totally dig that and understand that, and it's absolutely legitimate. But until you reach a point where it's equal, you know, it's just as well to encourage and to mentor.
You've played some very powerful women over the course of your career, winning an Academy Award for your portrayal of Queen Elizabeth II. And the next important figure, I believe, for you is Golda Meir, the only woman to serve as Israeli Prime Minister. Can you tell us what drew you to that character and the role?
Well, it's interesting you mention that, because it's not set in stone, that particular project. It's something we're all crossing our fingers will happen. Oh no, what an extraordinary woman. I mean, and that's interesting when you look at female leaders, and she was a very, very early leader and also led her country through a war. The very thing that women are not supposed to be any good at, you know. I'm hoping it will happen so I can start investigating who she was.
Indeed, when you approach a role in terms of the preparation and the research, someone who was visible in the 20th century, someone who's still alive, like Queen Elizabeth II, I wondered if there was something for you that allows you to nail the person, for example, gesticulation or voice.
Well, all of those things are important, obviously, especially with a person like Her Majesty, who is such... Everybody has seen her, heard her, knows what she looks like, how she walks, you know, how she holds herself. So you have to obey those things. But then you really want to go really beyond that, and you want to go into who the person is inside of all of that. And to do that, I studied her from before she knew that she was going to be queen. There was a possibility that her parents could have another child. If it had been a male, that he would have become king. So before that mantle really fell upon her, to see who the real personality was before she took on this incredible sense of duty. I think of the Queen as a submarine. You know, she's a submarine, and she's swimming along there with all of her own personality, her own thoughts, her own fears, her own insecurities, loves, you know, obsessions, all of the things that make her. And then the Queen that we see is like the periscope that comes up and just sort of looks around. And we see the periscope. We don't see the submarine, you know. So I wanted to see be the submarine.
The People's Princess.
No member of the royal family will speak publicly about this.
Diana's no longer a member of the royal family.
What are you talking about?
Charles, this is a private matter.
We do things in this country quietly, with dignity.
Will someone please save these people from themselves?
Questions are being asked about why the Queen hasn't addressed her subjects at this time of national grief.
The Prime Minister for you, ma'am.
You've seen today's papers. 70% of people believe that your actions have damaged the monarchy.
Now, as an artist, as someone in the public eye over the years, you've never been shy about speaking out about important issues, whether it was sexism. I wanted to know where this bravery comes from.
Oh, I think an annoying bolshiness, you know, irritating, argumentative bolshiness. I was taught as a young woman to argue at the dinner table. My father was Russian, so Russians love an argument. Not an argument, a discussion, a deep philosophical discussion. They love that. And that was how I was brought up, you know, to have these deep philosophical discussions. I have always had a crossness about the unfairness of life in general. There's always, ever since I was a kid, you know. And as the unfairness of life hits you as a young person, it's devastating, isn't it? It's not fair. Why? That's not fair. And the unfairness, and the unfairness of how women were perceived and what was available for women to do and be, when I, you know, became conscious of that at 13, 14 years old, then struck me as being profoundly unfair. It made me so cross when I was like 15 years old. I was so angry.
Now, Helen Mirren, you've had great success over the years here at the Cannes Film Festival, winning Best Actress in 1984 for Cal,
Yes.
and then again for your role in The Madness of King George
Yes,
in 1995. There are so many international cinema events these days, but what makes this one special?
I don't know. It's a combination of the French chic and the French glamour and the French vulgarity, because, you know, there's a side of Cannes that is so over the top, you know. But at the same time mixed with this deep love of film as art. And there's two things always going on at Cannes. There is three things. There's the glamour, there's the commercial film market, where people are selling scripts, you know, selling concepts, selling distribution, the commercial side of it. And then there's the art film side of it, which is the actual festival where the types of films that are shown that are very serious and seriously considered, always, you know, art films. So it's a heady mix, all of those things. It's very special, Cannes. There's no other festival like it, and I've been to a lot of festivals.
Well, indeed. With that, thank you very much for your time and bon festival.
Merci beaucoup. Yes.